Investors. The most inspirational couchsurfing experience I've been involved with actually did not come through couchsurfing itself. Couchsurfing, it's in keeping with the topic that I've had, I'm developing for my TED Talk, which is about trust and about doing things that a lot of people think are stupid, reckless, questionable, which I consider to be quite rational. In fact, the name of my talk is going to be Rational Trust. Why do we think things aren't safe when I think they are? That's really my topic. Couchsurfing is going to be the third leg of that. I've been involved with couchsurfing for almost 5 years. For those of you not familiar with couchsurfing, it's an international hospitality network of people who take strangers into their house with no obligation, give them a bed to sleep on. It's called couchsurfing, but we actually have quite a nice guest room. There's no obligation on my part as a host to do anything other than give them a place to sleep. However, I much enjoy showing people around. And when I travel, it's like having a friend in town. So far, in 5 years, I've had 89 guests. In the next week, I'm going to have 2 sets of people. I'm going to have 6 more guests, so I'll be up to 95 guests in the next week. Does that sound rational to you? I can tell you that when I was thinking about this talk, it struck me how similar couchsurfing is and the way people feel about it with another topic I had, which is hitchhiking. It's crazy. Why would you do that? The question that comes up when I say I've hosted 89 strangers in my house, the questions aren't, oh, those must be interesting people. Or when I've traveled, where have you got to go and stay with total strangers? No, the first question that most people ask is, who are the weirdos? Has it been dangerous? Aren't you worried? The answer is no, no, no. I'm not. Contagious Trust is the name of my talk today because my screen name on Couchsurfing is Contagious Trust. I think of Couchsurfing as something that I can do as a way to increase trust. There's 3 groups of people that I tend to give more credence to. I get a lot of requests from people living in Asheville and being an active host. I really like international guests. I've had guests now from 9 different countries, from Australia to Inner Mongolia to Lithuania. It's really interesting to have that cultural exchange. I give extra credence to people who have been active hosts because, for one thing, if you've been an active host, you know better how to be a good guest because you've had guests and you know what works and what doesn't. It's payback to me. If somebody has been hosting, they deserve that karma and I'll take them in. I also occasionally like to have somebody who's a first-time couch surfer. That's where the contagious trust really comes in. For me to have somebody who is taking a chance on staying with a stranger and let them experience it and see how great it is to have a friend in Asheville, I really like that. My guest next week is one I particularly like. It's somebody who's been a very active host who is taking his girlfriend on her first ever couch surfing expedition. So he knows all about what it's like, and she has never done it before. So I get to experience 2 of my 3 good categories. I'm really looking forward to that. Rational trust, what's rational about it? In couch surfing, the power of couch surfing, to me, the real strength that makes it different from something like Airbnb where you can rent out your bedroom. I'm not looking for payment from anybody. I also have the chance to look at the references. When you stay with somebody or when they stay with you, you write each other references. So when I get a request from somebody, it comes via email, you click on their profile and immediately look at the references, what people that they have stayed with said about them. And if I can see if they've hosted, I can see where they've stayed. If there's negative references, it's pretty easy to say, no, I'm busy. It's totally blind. They don't know who I am. I don't think I'd want to rent my room out to somebody just for money. For one thing, I wouldn't know nearly as much about who I'm taking in, and I rather like the community building aspect of couchsurfing. Really, it is about spreading trust, about contagious trust. The incident I talked about that was really the most inspirational happened a couple of years ago. There was a group, Delta Moon, who have become friends, and in fact, that's 4 of the guests I'm having Friday after they play at Jack of the Wood. We were hanging out with them after they played at Belshare. There was another couple there. They were getting ready to drive back to Charlotte after spending the night drinking in the bar with Delta Moon. They're big Delta Moon fans. We said, well, just come stay with us. We're used to hosting strangers on a drop of a hat. They weren't in the Couchsurfing network. Really? I happen to have a map with me to my house. I gave it to them. And they came over. We had some guests already through Couchsurfing who were showing at Belshare in the art area. So this couple came. They came quite late after Delta Moon had finished. They came out the next morning. They were even afraid to come out to breakfast, but they came out and they told us that they had almost turned around 3 times. My house is quite remote. It's dark. They were scared. We don't know these people. But rather than driving home to Charlotte drunk, they decided we'll go ahead and do that. They came and stayed with us. We got a note from them 3 days later. They said, "Thank you so much for taking us in. You have restored our faith in humanity." And it occurred to me this whole idea of what I want to talk about in my TED Talk. If I can just do a little bit toward restoring people's faith in humanity, that's a worthy goal. To me, it's about trust. I do have another speech in here about what not being trusting costs us, because I think it costs us a great deal. I think there's a lot to be gained from being trusting. So Couchsurfing is one of the areas where I get to participate on a regular basis in contagious trust. And Toastmaster.